Tetra Pak cartons are already lightweight, recyclable, and made mainly from renewable resources, like wood fiber from well-managed forests where trees keep on growing. But we didn't want to stop there. Tetra Pak is committed to reducing the impact of our packages even further. And one of our objectives is to increase the content of materials in our packages that come from renewable resources.
There is a shift happening everywhere. It's a shift away from fossil fuels like petroleum, coal, and natural gas to safer, more renewable materials. Everybody knows that fossil fuels are all around us. They power our cars, they heat our homes, they're in everyday objects. And for so long, we felt like we didn't have a choice. We didn't have any alternatives. But that's not necessarily true.
You can make plastic from soy, you can make plastic from grass, you can make plastic from corn. But there was one in particular that really caught our eye because it didn't upset an ecosystem and it didn't upset a food supply. Sugarcane. And that's why we came to Brazil.
Brazil is the world's largest grower of sugarcane. The country is huge. It's almost as large as the US, a little over 3 million square miles, and a whole third of the country is used only for farming. But because sugarcane is a dense and productive plant, growing it only uses about 1% of that farmable land. Brazilian sugarcane is very water efficient. Almost all of it is irrigated naturally by simply rainfall. The sugarcane region is in the center-south of the country, about 1,200 miles away from the Amazon rainforest, so there's no chance of contributing to any deforestation. The good thing about growing sugarcane, or any plants, is that they capture CO2 in their growing process. The sugarcane is harvested and sent to mills, where it's split into two parts, sugar for eating and something else called ethanol. The edible sugar goes one way, and the ethanol goes another. But what's great about this process is we are left with something that's really cool. It's a pulp, which in Brazil they call bagasse. What's so special about the bagasse is it's a biofuel. It's a fuel source that is used to power the entire production process, further reducing the need for fossil fuels. They make so much energy from this biofuel that it actually powers the surrounding cities, meeting their energy needs. Another thing that's pretty cool is that they have developed a process of collecting this nutrient-rich liquid in the process of milling the sugar and use it as a natural fertilizer for the next season's crops. Virtually no chemical fertilizer is used in Brazilian sugarcane. Also, the sugarcane industry in Brazil uses no genetically modified organisms in their fields, so the sugar for this new kind of plastic is GMO-free. When you compare making plastic from sugarcane versus plastic from petroleum, the numbers are pretty astonishing. The production of 200,000 tons of sugar-based plastic represents an annual reduction of 800,000 tons of CO2 from the atmosphere. To put that in a different perspective, that's the equivalent to the annual emissions of over 800,000 cars. And the plant-based plastic is exactly like traditional plastic. It's durable, protective, and best of all, it's 100% recyclable.
At Tetra Pak, we are always striving to improve the environmental performance of our packaging. And using plant-based plastic is a great step forward, both for the environment and our customers, by protecting what's good.
Production of white sugar from cane. Steps: cleaning, extraction, clarification, concentration, crystallization, centrifugal, drying and packaging. Step 1. Cleaning. The harvested cane stalks are loaded mechanically into trucks and taken to mills for processing into raw sugar. After the cane arrives at the mill yards, it is mechanically unloaded and excessive soil and rocks are removed. The cane is cleaned by flooding the carrier with warm water. At this point, the cane is clean and ready to be milled. Step 2. Extraction. 2 or 3 heavily grooved crusher rollers break the cane and extract a large part of the juice or swing hammer type shredders shred the cane without extracting the juice. The pressing process involves crushing the stalks between the heavy and grooved metal rollers to separate the fiber from the juice that contains the sugar. Next, the sugar is separated from the cut stalks by dissolving it in hot water. Step 3. Clarification. The juice from the mills, a dark green color, is acid and turbid. The clarification process is designed to remove both soluble and insoluble impurities that have not been removed by preliminary screening. The process employs lime and heat as the clarifying agents. Milk of lime neutralizes the natural acidity of the juice, forming insoluble lime salts. The muds separate from the clear juice through sedimentation. The non-sugar impurities are removed by continuous filtration. The final clarified juice contains about 85% water and has the same composition as the raw extracted juice except for the removed impurities. Step 4. Concentration. To concentrate this clarified juice, about 2/3 of water is removed through vacuum evaporation. Generally, 4 vacuum boiling cells or bodies are arranged in series so that each succeeding body has a higher vacuum and therefore boils at a lower temperature. The vapor from the lost cell goes to a condenser. The syrup leaves the lost body continuously with about 65% solids and 35% water. Step 5. Crystallization. Crystallization takes place in a single stage vacuum pan. The syrup is evaporated until saturated with sugar. As soon as the saturation point has been exceeded, small grains of sugar are added to the pan or strike. These small grains, called seed, helps in the formation of sugar crystals. The growth of the crystals continues until the pan is full. Step 6. Centrifugal. The high-speed centrifugal action used to separate the massicute into raw sugar crystals and molasses is done in revolving machines called centrifugals. The raw sugar is retained in the centrifuge basket because the perforated lining retains the sugar crystals. The mother liquor or molasses passes through the lining. The final molasses containing sucrose, reducing sugars, organic non-sugars, ash and water is centrifuged. It is cut down and sent to a granulator for drying. Step 7. Drying and packaging. Damp sugar crystals are dried by being tumbled through heated air in a granulator. The dry sugar crystals are then sorted by size through vibrating screens and placed into storage bins. Sugar is then sent to be packed in the familiar packaging we see in grocery stores, in bulk packaging, or in liquid form for industrial use.